Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and today we're doing the sign of air sign, sun, moon, and rising on a full moon. We are currently in a blue moon, which is once in a blue moon is pretty much every second or third or fourth moon in a year, calendar year. But this particular full moon is a blue moon, and it's once every 14 years. So I'm recording this for that reason. The first card I pulled, and I keep getting this card for myself as well, is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, and this deck is by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, called the Fairy Tarot Cards deck. I've had it since 2015. It predicted a flood. It predicted me moving home. It predicted so many things. That's why it's a bit frayed around the edges. It's well loved. So the Wheel of Fortune is like one calendar year, things will go better for you. Things are going to start turning around is what I'm getting. And that's the case that it comes in. I got mine from Brisbane, I think. A lot of my crystals that I've got here are from Rainbow Runner, and others are from markets up in Brisbane, in New Farm. So that's cool. So it's saying in one calendar year, you're going to have things turn around for you. There's luck. It's something to do with hair. In 1 year's time, you may grow your hair long again, or you may need to place someone's hair in your pocket, a lock of hair, in order to attract a certain amount of energy. The wheel can also represent driving a new vehicle. You may have a vehicle you want to drive or buy a new car. The 5 of Autumn is talking about calling into help from outside resources like church entities, like things like the Baptist Church Care that has a food care thing where you get cheap groceries. They also have counselling. They have free breakfasts. They have lunches for $2 affordable for people that are on low income. It says reaching out to those communities is really good for you right now. You may be feeling challenged by money issues. In the recent past, you've got the 9 of Autumn, which is talking about starting a new business, rewarding yourself for all your hard work, being happily and successfully self-employed, cherishing your alone time. So you may have started a new business like 9 months ago, 9 years ago, or to that sort of where you're wanting your independence. The card that's in the recent past is the 10 of Spring. This is to do with a lot of burdens, a lot of stress on your shoulders. You're carrying 10 people's other burdens plus your own. This is called burnout. You're weighed down by too many responsibilities and too many other people's issues. That should not be the case. People lean on you too much, and that's why you got sick. Trust me, I know. I've had to do it on my own as a single parent, and I got burnt out. I was burnt out all the time because I was trying to do a full-time job, looking after my 2 boys that had issues and special needs issues, and trying to look after my own mental health. It's impossible. Then the card that's crowning you is the 3 of Wands. It's talking about planning your next steps with an eye to the long term. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. It's like setting your boats out on the shore. Maybe you've applied for several jobs and you're starting to see 2 or 3 jobs now coming in after you've set them out and waiting for an arrival. 3 is also about creativity as well. And in the near future, or in the future, you've got unity. So it's talking about a Hierophant card. Do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you, a spiritually minded community. You may become part of a church community, or you may currently are in a church community, like you may volunteer for Lifeline, or you may help out a volunteer at a kitchen in a Baptist care sort of centre. And then you've got, I've pulled out the Intuition card, which is Lapis Lazuli, for focusing on your intuition. And this card I've pulled out is because we're in a Pisces moon right now. It's an awakening card. It's being hung upside down like Odin did on the tree of life in Norway. And his blood rushed to his head, and he came up with all these symbols for the runes that are now currently a divination tool. So that's what he's doing. He's hanging upside down, looking at things from a different perspective, and looking at things from a new perspective. He's trying to balance his male and feminine energies, because Pisces generally rule male and feminine energies. They swim either upstream or downstream. They're ruled by the goldfish. The fish are part of the Pisces lucky goldfish. Now, I've got Pisces in my chart. I also have Cancer, and I have Scorpio in my chart. I've got placements heavily in water, three placements heavily in water. I also have a Capricorn placement and I have an Aries ascendant. So I've got a lot of fire, but I'm an Aquarian. So that influences on how I come across as an Aquarian. I'm not your typical Aquarian. I have a business sense and I have a very intuitive grasp on society. But I can be quite passionate and fiery because of the Aries ascendant, and I've got a Sagittarian placement, so I can be all about fire and not burning people, but I really do put people in their place when they need it. So it's an awakening. You may be coming to a new awakening. You may have gone up a notch in your development, in your psychic development. So you may not even have to touch things anymore. It just may come to be because you're around it. You sense it. The next card who's around you is the Prince of Summer. This is the water sign. There is a Pisces, a Capricorn, or a Scorpio child or potential partner around you who's romantic, captivating, dramatic, flirtatious. They fall in love suddenly. You may feel swept off your feet. They need to stay grounded during a very emotional time. They can look into your eyes and recite poetry, but then be distracted by something else that's pretty, that's shining in you, that runs past them. They get easily, their attention span is limited. But when you heard a water sign like this, you've got to be careful because their heart is made of glass. It's fragile, so handle with care. Then you have around you at the moment, your hopes and fears is to do a new thing, a new job, and it's saying you're going to be successful with the Ace of Spring. It's to do with it's time to take action. It's going to happen now because this is a new season. We're coming into spring. Spring has sprung, and be fearless and happily pursue your most treasured dreams. Amazing career opportunities are coming out of literally nowhere. You may have several opportunities coming out of nowhere where you might happen to come across 2 or 3 jobs without even having to do a lot about it. It's just your season and a reason. You've learnt your lessons and your blessings, and now you're coming to a season and a reason. We've got the future, we've got the Chariot. This is talking about driving your willpower, your Aries nature, your Sagittarian nature through the negatives and the positives in your life. You need to challenge yourself to steer a straight course and not let anyone or anything deter you from your path. The Chariot is success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments and being in the spotlight. You may all of a sudden have gotten fame for what you do. You may have your own YouTube channel, or you may be famous for something else that you do, but it's saying that you're coming into some sort of recognition for the abilities that you currently have. Then we've gone into the Oracle cards, the deck that I'm using today. This soy candle is beautiful. It's from Dusk. It's called Strawberry. Now, because I pulled the card on a full moon, and it is a full moon and a blue moon at that, and this channel's called Moonlight Madness, I pulled Moonlight, which is interesting because it's Moonlight Madness. So I put the card with the rock, which is for moon signs, is for protection. It's the black obsidian. That's the rock I would use for protection today. So 51 is Moonlight. Yeah, Moonlight beckons. Come and trust your intuition to lead you into places that may not seem logical. Your hunches will be right on target. Resist second guessing yourself, because for your alternative perception is especially sharp right now. You can see beyond the surface of things and truly read between the lines. This is a good time to use oracle cards or other systems of divination to gain information. Remember that the language of intuition is a symbolic one. If it comes subtly through a hunch, a tingling, a clear sound, or an animal or an object crossing your path, Spirit is sending you messages to help you now. Success is yours if you follow the signs. I've been seeing birds all day, all different types of birds and varieties that are trying to get my attention with their squawking and their carrying on. So I figured it was air signs today. So I did the air signs for that very reason. Then we've got the next card out of that Oracle deck, and this is by Colette Baron Reid. The Enchanted Map Oracle Cards Guidebook. I've used a couple of decks. These tend to be my favourites. I tend to stick with Trusted and True rather than the unknown. So there's the Moonlight we pulled. Then we've got 25, which is Transformation, Metamorphosis. This is like coming out of a dark night of the soul. If anyone's gone through something really hard, you're about to come out of the light and come up for air from whatever vacuum you've been sucked into. Not everyone's problem is your problem. Don't take it on board. Butterflies earn their wings through great effort. The process of change is often painful. for it is never without losses and sacrifices. If you are to transform from one form to another, a part of you needs to die. Letting go is not easy, especially when you're used to thinking a certain way about your life, how you live it. Just as a snake sheds its dead skin or a caterpillar dies, so that a butterfly can be born. You're required to release your old ideas and embrace this necessary change so you can live your best life. Perhaps you're being asked to let go of low self-worth, a dream that no longer serves you, a relationship that is draining, or unhealthy habits. Despite your fear, you must accept that this is a transformational time for you. There will be some loss involved, but you'll love what you've become. And then the last deck that I'm using today is Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle by Lucy Cavendish and artwork by Selena Fenwick. The first card I pulled was Beauty's Truth. This is a Friday night spell. This is number 32. It talks about believing in your own beauty. Sometimes people feel inadequate because we see pictures on magazines or, InstaChat or Instagram, and they're showing you what is the look at the moment, which is now maybe anorexic looking, and they're models. They actually starve themselves to look like that. I believe that people I'm not trying to single him out, but Robert Pattinson in the movie Twilight looked anorexic. He was not attractive. I liked him better when he was in Batman. I found him more attractive, more appealing. He had more muscle, he had more grunt, and he was attractive to me because I don't want a kid or a boy that's like a skeleton. I don't want to be in bed with someone like that. I want someone who's a man, who's got muscular strength, who I can feel safe around, and a skeleton body is not something to aspire to, girls and guys. So it's time to harness and radiate your own beauty, and to realise that by acknowledging your own unique attractiveness, your own beautiful qualities, you begin to be beauty. Your job now is to embody beauty. If this is feeling daunting, know that it is not a vanity, it's not an attempt to fit in. It is simply coming out of the hiding. The world will benefit, and you will be kinder, sweeter, and more generous when you believe in your own beauty. If you are struggling with the truth of your beauty, sit before a mirror on a Friday night and focus within on love. See this love radiate out from within and begin to glow, and as you do, watch your beauty grow. The fairies do this, and it's not one who is too divine to look upon. Having beauty will not make you weak, vulnerable, vain, or foolish. All these are cliches, and you do not believe in these lies anymore, do you? Fairies have no judgment regarding types of beauty. They are loving and kind, and those who keep these same values are beautiful in turn. Do not deny yourself this form of self-love, for it has much power, magic, and healing within it. And then the next card I pulled 3. I know I probably spoiled you guys, you Aries, but air signs, because I'm an air sign, I thought I'd spoil myself. We've got here the gift. This is a really good card. This is earth energy around you. You may have a Taurus around you currently. That's number 47. An offer, nurturance, growth, and potential. Someone may just surprise you with a gift to say thank you for being you. I think that's nice. The gift that's not even for a reason or a season, it's just that you want to say thank you for helping me. The gift is a gift which has to do with your well-being, health and transformation, a proposal to help you change your life that is not small and not in the least grand or glittery, but which has enormous substance and potential to it. Work with your hands. The art of working in earthy elements is encouraged by the Fae, silversmith, blacksmith, jeweler, nurse, beauty therapist, farmer, veterinarian, energy healer, animal lover, conservationist, builder, or eco-mystic. Peaceful resolution to trivial pursuits. The de-escalation of disagreements through tenacity, focus, strength, courage, and thorough research and investigation. Reverence for beauty. Inspiration from the earth for jewelers, artisans, and craftspeople working with the ores and stones of the earth in converting ideas into reality by revealing to us the practical elemental process that need to take place in order for us to bring our visions into the material plane in enduring and earthly fashion. Respect for the natural, innate usefulness of all things, which so many of us cannot see. This card indicates that you would do well to take on the view that all has purpose, which is the antithesis of disposable culture we live in now. Make the most of what you have and the gifts from the earthly realm, and the gnomes will come forth and give in abundance. And then the last card I pulled is light in the darkness. You could be someone's light in their darkness. They may be going through something right now. They might be having health issues. They may have limited movement. But you come up and you bring light and you cheer them up and you make them laugh. And that is gold. Because when someone's so sick and they've got no will to live, it's just the faith and someone that's happy and fun and looks up to them even though they're an invalid or they're not able to do what they used to do, the fact that that person still remembers all the things that they shared memories of as a child with that person, that could possibly a grandparent, my grandmother and my grandmother and grandfather, my second set of parents. So I grew up with a huge household of extra people that I wouldn't have had if I wasn't a single child from a single parent background. Yes, I missed out on having a dad, but I had a grandfather and I had a grandmother and I had an uncle and I had 3 aunts. So I didn't miss out at all. I had a really good childhood. I'm very grateful for it. So it says, hey, listen to elders, find a playful, wise elder from whom you can learn. Seek out relatives and ancestor wisdom. Search through your family tree for evidence of the magics within you. They are there. Old wise ones have messages for you, and you can learn much from them. Allow them to pass on their wisdom to you. To a loving tradition continues. Understand that you come from a long line of wise ones and connect with those elders. A chance encounter with the older person gives you much to think about. You will learn a great deal this time if you connect with older people. Do not be afraid of growing old. You will never die. Your light will be passed on, and your soul spark will return to source, to starfire, to be renewed again, only as you agree to do. My name is Kelly, and it's named after a famous book. It's the Book of Kells, and it was hidden in a church. I think it was originally in Inverness in America. They removed it and moved it to Dublin, and when it went to Dublin, it was ransacked by the Norwegians, the Vikings, who took gold leaf pages off the book. So then they had to hide it in the vault. And it was hidden in the Tower of Kells. 5 roads lead in and 5 roads lead out. It was a conundrum. It was a special tower built for this book to live in. And the Tower of Kells was part of a church in the Abbey. And then they buried it into the Abbey after so many years because of the risk of it being removed. But it was called the Illuminati. There is an actual church in Newcastle called the Cathedral, and they based their Book of Gold on the Book of Kells scriptures and, insignia and drawings. And that's the book there. The Book of Gold was actually made out of the wedding bands. Hang on, let me read. It's out of the wedding bands. 1,000 men from Newcastle and Hunter Valley who were killed in the World War One. The gold cover was made from the wedding rings of those whose husbands died in battle, which I think is beautiful. Like that says that's compassion, that's loyalty, and that's showing that it wasn't to waste. And the cathedral is absolutely magnificent. There is the cathedral's oak font for the fallen ones in the war. So I was up there today and I found it a beautiful war memorial. Is absolutely fascinating. Gorgeous church. I said a prayer today for my father-in-law who's just gone into a home, and I'm really sad to hear that. His name is Joseph Rivera, and he is a minister of health for Nicaragua, and he saw a lot of things in his time, but he helped to look after the Children's Fund, and he was in charge of a lot of things to help the children. So to Joseph, I'm thinking of you right now. I'm very sad that you're in a home. Happy Father's Day. The boys told me about it. They're sad to hear it. They're going to come and visit you at Christmas time, so you know. And thank you, Joseph, for always being behind me and always being in my corner when everyone else was against me and your family. And that's all I have for you today. I did have a vision for my son. He's going overseas to Thailand. I dreamt that his luggage got lost. So my gorgeous eldest boy, I'm going to pay for your insurance because it will get lost. That's what I saw. Being a psychic medium, I can't always shut out what I see. Anywho, thank you so much for listening. Namaste.